What's poppin'? This your boy LouMuzik, and this is Nolazine TV, dog.
So, what's your opinion on one 360 deal?
Okay, so I guess with the 360 deal, first of all, it was engineered by Leor Cohen. So you're talking about Def Jam. Russell Simmons, labeled culture vulture. What Leor Cohen's argument is that they're making you famous and they're putting the money behind you. So anything that you make money off of, due to the fact that it came off of the brand that they helped create, they should in part make money off of that. And at the same time, they are going to help you more in expanding your brand because they have a vested interest. And that's their way of putting it on a chess table and presenting the 360. But you got rappers like Russ out there, dudes collecting over $100,000 on DistroKid every month, independent. What would I tell an artist? Stuff that I'm not even doing. Go out there and drop a music video every week for 2 years and tell me you're not making money on DistroKid. Go out there and drop a single every 3 days. Be consistent all the way raw. Hey, it's bound to. There's nothing that will ever outdo hustle. Nothing ever. So 360 deal, they have a way of finessing it. I'm kind of done with the whole record label deal. Like, what, you're gonna get on the radio a few years from now? Streaming's becoming everything. So you're gonna gamble on the radio? The radio's gonna be a dinosaur here in a few. I would invest in myself as an artist. I'd get my ass capped. I would make sure that I have all my paperwork down. I would make sure that I'm publishing everything. I got my ISRC code. Get your own ISRC code, which is like a UPC but digitally, and make sure you control everything. And then when those dollars are coming in from the streams, you're not splitting that with anybody. That's where it's at. Keep your money.
Yep, you gotta own yourself.
You gotta own yourself, and it's a crazy opportunity. You're talking about 20 years ago, you had to pay a bag of money to even get into a studio to record, and then to market yourself, you would have had to be paying newspaper articles, you'd have to be paying for radio ads, TV ads. Right now is the time to get it. You can get Facebook ads popping for the low, and that's not going to last forever. Give it another 10, 15 years, corporate powers are going to come down, those Facebook ads are going to shoot through the roof, and it's going to be hard to get your word out there. Right now is the
you better build your following now.
You better build your following now. Get it while it's hot.
You get it while it's hot?
Yeah, and I'm hot.
Yeah.
Because I had a beer.
Tell everybody where you from.
I'm from New Orleans, El Salvador, and Houston.
Okay. Also, when did you start making music?
2002, started freestyling. Just shooting dice, smoking, freestyling. And then it turned into illegally downloading Fruity Loops and producing, starting putting records together, and then creating songs, and it went from there.
So growing up, who influenced you to start making music?
Definitely Cash Money. Definitely New Orleans sound. When I came from El Salvador, I was born in New Orleans, moved to El Salvador when I was a year old, lived through a war and all kind of crap out there, but came back to New Orleans at 8. First 2 songs I ever heard were Whoop There It Is and Tootsie Roll. And that was it. Tootsie Roll, 69 Boys.
I know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I ain't know nobody say Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, Tootsie Roll, Whoop There It Is. I was a little kid, I was like, damn, that sounds good. What is that?
Like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, and then I went up, and then, the Chronic came out, everything started evolving, so.
Okay.
I think my first cassette somebody gifted me was Bone Thugs and Harmony, it's 1999.
Okay. Also, do you have any projects coming up?
Yeah, really working on records. Got reggaeton records coming out, mostly singles. Dropping singles. I feel a project at a time when, it makes sense. As of right now, it's testing and trialing with singles and putting out some new records and letting them do what they do.
Okay. So, what's the average day like for LouMuzik?
Busy as fuck, dog. It's for a long time I was a one-man band, so I've created systems which have helped me, and then eventually people came to help, but you still have to manage a lot of things when, with the concerts, you be having, 4 or 5 cities in 1 month, or, we're at 4 cities right now, but you be doing 3, 4 shows in a month. And you've got to deal with a ton of work from the corporate side, dealing with Live Nation, to dealing with each independent artist that builds that show. Then openers for major acts. It's just a lot of people that need attention, and you want to make sure you're taking good care of everybody. You want to make sure that you're responding to people, and that's really the most time-consuming part, making sure that everybody's taken care of, and they feel like they're dealing with something that's going to hold them down.
Okay. So speaking of Live Nation,
yeah.
So how did that partnership come about?
Well, I guess when I put my first little album together, I had come down to New Orleans, had already moved to Houston, and then I had come back to visit, because most of my youth was in New Orleans after El Salvador, and then later on I went to Houston. But I came back, and somebody that I knew threw a party at Howlin' Wolf, and I went to Howlin' Wolf for this party. It was with DJ Jubilee, and I damn near knew everybody in there. I'm really outgoing, so I was like, I know all these people. So my probably the moment that kind of put me on this trajectory was, instead of saying I got an album and I'm gonna go find, a way to work with somebody to get on, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna put a show together. And so I went to Howlin' Wolf, and I cold called, hey, I want to set up a show with y'all. And they're like, you ever set up a show before? I was like, no. They're like, well, you're not doing a show here. And I was like, all right. I was like, well, what can I do? How can we make something happen? And look at a draw. Your boy was like, hey, I can put you at this little bar and see how you do at this bar, and run a couple shows there. If they go well, we can talk. Banged out 2 shows at this little bar, packed them out, and then I came back to Howlin' Wolf, and then they called the bar, and they were like, yo, come on, son. By this time, it was all independent, just me performing. All my boys, all my people were like, yo, I want to perform. So when we got to Howlin' Wolf, and we had this bigger room, I was like, oh, you want to perform? You want to perform? You want to perform? You want to perform? Everybody's performing. So we put everybody on. And I guess what kind of helped me was getting anxiety over the matter that, okay, damn, I need to make sure that I have a set list ready. I need to make sure everything's punctual, everything's on time, there's no drag. And I went all the way in to make sure it was organized to the T. And that was a powerful move, because that developed the brand.
So far as you as the artist,
yeah,
what separates you from other artists?
I'm my own artist. I don't try to play to the ball to anybody else. I'm myself. I do reggaeton. I do hip hop. It's not something like, I'm not the concert promoter that decided to rap or be an artist. I'm the artist that turned into a concert promoter / artist and ended up building something to help other artists, because I always talk about how hard it is for artists, because from my point of view, I know what it is to be an artist and everything that you have to do for yourself. So I'm really out here fighting for the artist. I'm out here fighting for the dude that's walking around and he's like, man, I got a hot track and I don't know how to get it out there, and I know the world is moving and I'm stuck out and I'm frustrated and I'm having to do this 9 to 5 and I'm upset and I hate this, and I'm there for that cat. And I'm like, yo, don't worry about that. Come on, let's go to House of Blues. Hit the stage, dog.
Okay. So, as far as your brand, do you feel like, once you go mainstream, that you still be doing, your shows with Live Nation?
For sure. The brand is bigger than me in the sense that it's for the artists. I don't perform at every LouMuzik live show. There's a lot of shows I don't perform at, and that's because my focus is on the artists getting the exposure they need, making sure they're connecting with the DJs, and we have radio DJs, we have concert DJs that DJ our shows. I always want to make sure people like Darren and Nolazine TV are in the mix. People that these artists can network and build with, make sure that everything is there for the artists, and giving them the platform that they came in. They came into this, hey, we're looking for this platform. It's my duty to say, yeah, I got that platform for you. So as far as the artists, I'm working on records, dropping music videos, and if one pops off, hey, it pops off. I'm already touring. If I want to perform, I can perform. I'm not tripping about trying to be super famous or something. Hey, if one of these records takes off, hey, that's what's up. If not, hey, we still getting it.
Okay. So what's your advice to a younger artist that's trying to follow like in your footsteps?
In which way?
Business, music.
I would say your network is your net worth. So I would say stop whatever you're doing once you get that record and go out there and talk to those people. They out there. The people from the radio DJs to the radio hosts to the club DJs to the promoters to the organizers, they're out there and they making stuff happen every night. And the music industry is at 9 p.m. is on and popping till 2 a.m. in Houston, 4 a.m. in New Orleans. And people are clocking in every night. And if you ain't there clocking in, hey, you ain't at your job. So get on your job. And that means shaking hands. That means when you walk into a place, people are saying, hey, what's up, man? What's up? People that are known in the industry because you're out there getting it. And they're going to respect you for that. The first time you go out there, they're probably going to look at you like, who's this dude? You show up that second time, that third time, that fourth time. You're a month in, you're 2 months in, 3 months in, and you clocking in every night. Hey, they start respecting that.
So what's the most memorable concert performance that you had? And I'm telling people why.
Jazz Fest. Jazz Fest was fire. That stage was huge. We were on the Congo stage, just a massive stage, big screens on each side. Man, that's so live. You're in the crowd and you're 20 feet tall on this huge monitor on each side of the stage, and that's just live. That's as live as it gets. You performing for people way in the back, because there's a 40-foot version of you on each side of you. So Jazz Fest, I would say, has been the livest so far. I thought that was great.
Okay. Also, like, what do you enjoy most about being one music artist? And also, like, what do you hate most about being a music artist?
What do I enjoy most about being a music artist? Being a music artist is creativity. Creativity. Being creative. That's really what it's all about. That's why I've done this for so long. Because you gotta be creative. If you're not being creative, you're doing something over and over, and your mind is getting fatigued, and your brain isn't exploding with ideas, and you're dying out, and you're depressed, and you're down, and fuck all that. Be creative, create. And so that's what I love about artistry, creating. As far as what do I think is the worst thing about the music industry, the lack of a moral code. And even going down to the industry, if they're going to put a contract in front of you, they're going to put the nastiest contract in front of you first. Even if you know your stuff, they're just going to put out the nastiest contract off top every time. Why? Because for the few that don't care and just sign, hey, that's another one that we get to make money off of. And that's not how you're supposed to work. You're not supposed to be sharking people. Sharking people, that's like stealing. That's you playing the game raw. That's whack. You wilding out, and it's in the industry, in the music industry, it's like the Wild West, you know. There's no moral code, there's no ethics, and that's probably the wackest thing. I mean, even with LouMuzik Live, it took a long time to build this brand because a lot of the people that had done concerts in before were just collecting money from artists, making all these artists come out of money, come out of pocket, and then you get there and there's 10 people in the crowd, and the 10 people are the other artists there. So it's a big scam, and having to deal with that. And it's okay if some people are just trying to figure it out, but the fact that it carries into the actual industry, that's what's foul.
Also, describe your music using one word.
Original.
And why is that?
Because I put down what I feel, and I don't say, hey, you know, I don't try to play off anybody else, and that's what people tell me. Hey man, when I played your record, hey, that was you. I'm like, who did it sound like? They're like, it sounded like something that a different person made, and that's what I like. I like the fact that people recognize my music as its own. They don't say, hey, this sounds like this or this sounds like that. They're just like, hey man, that was a tight record. And the fact that tells me that I'm doing it right. I'm having fun and I'm creating, and that's what it's about, creating. Whether you're writing a song that has to do with drug addiction, or you're writing something to just turn up with your people and have a good time, it's about being creative and putting down what's true to you.
Okay. So has there ever been a point, in your music career, when you just wanted to give up?
Multiple points. For a long time, I was doing probably, I think it was 2 shows a year, and I couldn't sustain a life with that. Because for me to be able to move this platform, I can't be doing a bunch of other stuff. I got to be focused on this. So it came to a point that I moved to New York. I left everything, and I didn't know anybody out there. I went out there, and the plan was find a shelter and figure it out, get a job, stabilize, and start networking. And went out there for a while. Went out there for maybe a year and a half, and I was down and out. And then I said, well, look, man, I'm already running shows at House of Blues Houston and House of Blues New Orleans. This thing is doing its thing. It just needs more energy. So I came back. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna give it the energy. And so instead of, 1 show every 6 months, it was 2 shows a month and 3 shows a month. And I would have months where it was a show every weekend. And then it was just that I put in the work to make sure that it would be able to sustain my life, so that my life and my lifestyle, so that I could continue to build this thing up.
So, what's next for LouMuzik?
Expansion on all levels, on all cylinders. More cities, more genres. We don't just do hip hop. We do R&B. I've done death metal concerts. I did a fashion show at Rap-A-Lot in Houston. I haven't done comedy yet. Cess45 does some good comedy shows, so that's real loud. I want to go to one of those. And so expanding to different genres, expanding to more cities. For me, there's just all these artists out there that are dying every day. That's the way I look at it. There's a dude out there that's got crazy talent in the middle of Milwaukee, and he's got the dopest talent, and he's just a creative genius. But tomorrow is his last day, and that's happening every day. And I gotta get out there. So for me, it's waving the flag for the artists. Forget everything else. This is because they're my people. The artists are my people. I feel their pain. That pain runs deep. So it's expansion, more cities, more genres, and continuing to expand within even my own music. I didn't do reggaeton until about 2 years ago, but I was always around Hispanic music. I can speak Spanish. Yo soy salvadoreño, nicaragüense. So, I had it in me. My dad, before he passed, he was a salsa player with a salsa band. So I had that in me. So reggaeton came out of me, and just expanding on my sound as well. So expansion.
So what's your advice to artists that don't have the marketing budget, don't have the money to get videos? Like, how are they supposed to get at someone like you and actually be seen with their music?
To get at with us, you go to LouMuzik Live, and it's $39.99. That's what it is now. That'll as we expand, you know, things will expand. But yeah, that covers your flyer, that covers your promotion, and other than that, you just bringing your people out, and we're gonna put you at a premier venue in front of a packed house, and make sure that you're networking with people in the music industry that to your hometown, and make sure that you're getting connected. As far as an artist that doesn't have a budget, forget the budget. You just go make it happen. It's guerrilla warfare out here. Go find the cheapest microphone and find the cheapest whatever and put it together and start working on it. And in a year, you'll develop that. It's about getting it. If you're getting it, you're gonna get it. If you look at the size of the mountain over the size of who you are, you're done. You gotta look at the mountain and be like, oh, I can do that. I'm gonna knock that out right now. You do that, you're good.
Okay. And like last but not least, tell everybody like where can they find you, and also like where can they find your music?
You can find LouMuzik everything. So LouMuzik. LouMuzik on all the streaming platforms. LouMuzik.com. That's for the artist. If you're an artist that wants to sign up to perform, it's LouMuzikLive.com. And that's it. All the connections are there. Try to make it as simple. Another thing, make things simple for people. So if you have an artist name, make sure that your Instagram is the artist name. And then your website is the artist name. Everything is the artist name. Everything unifies. Because if you have everything's going different ways, it's marketing. The whole thing is marketing. Look at these wristbands. Boom. Got the Instagram on here. Got the Instagram. Got the logo with the website. Got the hashtag. And got the brand on there. Got these. Hand them out like it's little candies. Boom, everybody gets a wristband. Why? Because it's all about marketing. And the 1 second that you connect with somebody is another person that didn't know who you were.